Boom.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a way to end round 26. What was it?
26.
The Back Yourself podcast absolutely wire to wire hammers this round, winning over fucking 10 units in the end. And we were this close to a perfect round, but the Dragons decided that the season will be fucking ending early for them. Shout out to the Zerafos brothers. But outside of that, we were all over this round, and it was a fascinating round to follow. A lot of playoff implications. Unlucky Wires fans, as always, next year. And there is a lot to talk about, Chris, so I won't fuck around too much. How are you feeling, my friend?
What? You guys fucked us over on Knights, bro.
Fuck Knights. They're awful. What do you want from me?
I mean,
we should get paid out for them covering by the 79th.
The free plays even won because we took plus money on Roosters.
Yeah, I know. These cunts have the audacity to complain about free, like, winning.
It's incredible. Let alone the people they're paying. They pay the pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there. If you're interested in making money in sport, you hit the link in our description. We will look after you because that's what we fucking do. Speaking of looking after you, there was no better way. There's no such thing as a fucking free win on the punt, but we came pretty much as close as you possibly will come, laying 1.5 with the Bulldogs on Thursday night. Shout out to Matt, Chris Creas, Tim, all the other gentlemen in the pod, which was insane to me that there was some commentary throughout the week of, I don't know, bro, we might take him lightly and lose that one. I'm like, well, I know.
I don't know.
I know 14 days from now, you guys are going to tip your own team to go to Melbourne and win, yet you're too scared to fucking win at $1.08. Come on, boys.
I couldn't believe how many people were saying, yeah, Penrith. But why?
Absolutely
They're
not.
awful.
They were literally ran out dirt, but in running out dirt, they kept it nip and tuck for as long as they could. Obviously, the players only matter so much with these fucking pricks. Anyone that runs out in that black jersey turns into a defensive fucking wall. But the defensive wall crumbled after 7 hours of Bulldogs having the ball, and they decided to finally score. 28-4 was your full-time score in a hilarious game that ended up actually covering the -20 anyway, even though the Dogs were somewhat mediocre for large stretches. Chris, did you have any opinion on this game, or is this just an absolute who cares?
Well, it was the spread, for one, was just a guess on the bookies. It's good that it was a guess, and they
came pretty quick.
They came pretty close. But...
There was the 12-point swing at the end where Penrith almost scored and then they fucked themselves over, which probably was the difference in who covered.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're taking -20, you need to be on premium ASAP because, even if we didn't get at 1, you could have got it at 8, you could have got it at 12. There was so many parts throughout the week. Scandal or not, whatever we end up finding out from fucking this garbage. It was also convenient, like you said, it was a 12-point swing, right? It was also convenient that the closing line won as well. So, the bookies are already down a lot of money. I don't think they won this round. It's impossible with some of the results.
Yeah.
The only day they actually would have got absolutely hammered, which is a good sign for us.
I feel like they probably got hammered on this game.
Roosters.
The Roosters game.
Raiders. Manly didn't really matter. Broncos.
That pushed out to 7, which they even covered that.
Exactly.
Today they got raped on Sharks
and Dolphins. Yeah.
And whatever Shark money brought back on Titans, they covered that as well. So this was not a good round for the bookies.
Which means a good round for us.
Which meant a good round for us. And this game was somewhat interesting. I feel like the easy and lazy narrative that we could come on here would be to come and blow up at the Bulldogs, which I will get to the blow up at the Bulldogs part of, why didn't you just go out there and win 50-0? What the fuck are you guys doing? That was pedestrian. I did like their approach to the game where this would be very atypical of a moronic side to go out and be like, I have no respect for my opposition. They're running out dirt. We're just going to go and throw the footy around and try and outscore them and invite them into the game for no reason. But the Bulldogs, it seemed like Serraldo throughout the week really had them concentrating on playing the game the right way. And while the points didn't flow as soon as the game started or when they had the possession to start the first 20 minutes, including the sin bin where they didn't score, until Johnny actually came back on and then they immediately scored. That's how the sport operates. They kind of played the long game and then the fruits of the labour showed at the end when they ended up only keeping Penrith to 4, didn't give him a chance, didn't really give him a sniff at any point, and they played the right way. In saying that, was their good ball attack still awful? Yes, It was awful. Fuck me dead. And a lot of the narrative has come in the last couple of weeks. Conveniently, they forgot when he saved them against Dragons, but a lot of it has been, Lockie Galvin this, he's awful. But again, I'm going to say it every week until they can fucking wake up and do something about it. The left edge, particularly without Kikau there this round, was anemic. every time they got the ball, Burton just like, I'm actually somewhat convinced you can't win a premiership with this guy in the halves. And shout out to Matt. The reports are that they are potentially seeking an early release for him to piss off and go do something else. So we might see a very young halves pairing of Mitch Woods and Galvin maybe sooner than later, even though that was always the plan. But valiant effort from Penrith. You got to give them a shout out that they legit ran out dirt and tried their hardest for 80 minutes, and they didn't really crack for long stretches of this game. And that is more of a testament to the badge and the club and everything they've built there in the last 5 years. They never go down easy, the pricks, but they will go down easy come the semis. Don't worry about them. But as far as this game goes, they really relish the opportunity to play first grade, and some of those players, fuck me, we'll won't see them in first grade for a long time. On the dog side, there's nothing that convinced me that you pricks can go to Melbourne and be any more competitive than I would have thought on Wednesday night. So that's all I really have to say about this game.
I got nothing to say about Dogs because this game really didn't matter, and I already said enough. You guys can't score, but I'm actually disappointed in Gus and Serraldo. We know Serraldo's a good coach. Gus is genius, and Matt will like that one. I don't understand why they're trying to turn Galvin into Sexton. Galvin at Tigers, well, I'm a Tigers fan, right? And I'll admit this. Rocks and diamonds. But he's fucking 18. Sometimes, genius. Sometimes, an idiot. Sometimes, win you the game, i.e. the Dragons game. Sometimes, fuck you over. You can't mold him into a player that he isn't. And that's what I feel like is happening to Galvin right now. Mm-hmm. They want to limit his mistakes, the shit he does that is just stupid. But by doing that, they're limiting his actual creativity, which is what I thought the Dogs needed. And when they signed him, I was like, well, this is what they need. They need someone to just fucking throw the footy around. Because in this game in particular, I don't think he threw that many short balls at Tigers throughout his whole fucking in his life, other than Samuel Afinu, who actually ended up going straight through, than he did in this game. And when you have an outside back next to you that's Critter, bro, this guy was throwing the ball to fucking Naden playing center, for God's sake, for that Tigers. He didn't give a fuck. And one thing that he may not admit to, but Benji let him do that because Benji saw himself in him. And that's why he let him fucking be an idiot sometimes. But at the moment, Serraldo and Gus are trying to turn him into Sexton. You know what? If you watch the podcast, if it goes to these people, or, well, we know Serraldo does, just fucking put Sexton in. If you're going to make Galvin play like this, you're not going to win with him because he's playing like he's Sexton, just a shitter version because he can't kick as far, he can't pass the ball as well, he's just not poking up where Sexton would be. Then put Sexton in. If you're going to make Galvin do this shit, because in my opinion, it looks like they've told him to calm down, which is fine errors-wise, but that's not why he's there. Burton is meant to be the stability guy because he doesn't do anything anyway.
He's about as stable as Mike.
Exactly. Right now. So I just don't understand what they've done. And to be honest, I know Galvin's getting a lot of the heat because no one wants to blame Gus. He's a genius. But at the moment, someone is telling him he's not to play that level. And that's my opinion on Galvin.
No, that's fair. Really, nothing else to speak about in this one. Just, I would say, like, very, very sharp bet from us, 1.5. I don't think there was like no literal way that Penrith could win the game. And when you're laying one, you're just betting on the team to win, essentially. So I was very happy with that. We will speak on this more in the preview, but it seems like, unfortunately, Serraldo doesn't watch the pod and he's looking at playing his team next week, even though they haven't had a bye for about 6 months and they look gassed. Fuck me. As I said in the preview of this round, if that is the way he ends up having the cookie crumble, somebody needs to fucking link our podcast to him and with the subject header wake up.
He wants them to have a rest week and he's going against fucking Adam Fanua-Blake with a chance. What also frustrates me is when they play each other. You got to think of it. We'll get it in the preview. Scheduling wise, if Brisbane lose, Warriors lose to Manly, Sharks will have every opportunity to make the top 4. And you got playing a team that, okay, I know that they're not the greatest team on the planet, but you're playing them with motivation, whatever that means.
Look, genuinely, I don't think it matters if you're playing a team that's in the chance to come first or last. You motherfuckers are third, Melbourne are second. That is set in stone. The ink is dry. All your focus should be in the next 14 days. How can we go to Melbourne and not get fucking annihilated? Yet you cunts are like, let's go to Sharks and try for no reason. Okay, sure. We'll see how it works.
We'll see, because they can make the same argument about Melbourne as well, who are going to try as well.
But Melbourne have...
Melbourne already rested.
Melbourne, first of all, already rested. Second of all, have players coming back that they want to reintegrate into the team, right?
And third of all, it's Brisbane.
And third of all, they need to end Brisbane's... Put a dagger into Brisbane for me. But the Dogs one is just so fucking pointless that just bewilders me. What else bewilders me is moving on to Friday night, where you were a very, very happy boy, I'm sure. The Wars, shout out to all my G's out there. Shout out to Seabass, Joel Coddington, the two Eels ambassadors. 26-22 was your full-time score in this one, in the game that the Warriors were robbed.
Robbed of
How
what?
could the bunker do this to us, except when you look at the replay, he fucking dropped the ball. In saying that, shout out to the guy that dropped the ball, who in the post-game presser said, hey, look, I did touch it. I felt like it went back. They said it was forward. Fair enough. And you know what? We probably shouldn't have been down as much as we were down in that game anyway, so there's a lot for us to learn. It's all right. You're going to have a lot of fucking learning to do by the time you get to the finals, because the way you boys played yet again was not up to scratch. I do somewhat feel for the Wars, because from my perspective, kind of both of our analysis heading into this game was accurate. I said, I think the Wars will dominate field position. They'll like pin Parra into their own end for very like big stretches of this game. They'll get all the good ball and eventually they'll probably roll over them and win. But again, match starts off where with Warriors getting like lots of calls, lots of field position, being unable to score. You get the Adokar 100-meter try and you get Parra going and scoring again to make it 10-0. And I don't think this Warriors team is built to play in a game of a deficit, which is something you mentioned like much earlier in the year of, sure, you guys win by 4 every round, but you're up like 10 or 12 every week. So what would happen when the shoe's on the other foot? And unfortunately, without Barnett and Metcalf, no matter how many meters your outside backs get, how many meters your forwards restrict the opposition forward pack from making, you just don't have the polish to get the points on the board. And even in a situation where I think there's something within this game that articulates where both of these teams are and how much it makes a difference to the full-time result of this game. Parra had 1 try in the second half, and it was from their own 40-meter line. You have a representative front rower taking the ball up, drawing 3 players in, and getting an offload to an up-and-coming superstar fullback where a young guy can just catch the ball and run 60 meters, beat your fullback, and put it under the post for a try. Whereas the Warriors, I can't think the last time that these pricks scored it from their own 30-meter line. Like, it just doesn't fucking happen. Work. They have to very methodically go down the other end. And shout out to this player. I mean, fuck me, Halasima. This cunt is an absolute weapon that... Without him, I'm not sure Warriors would have had more than 10 points in this game. Literally, their tries at the end was short ball to Halasima that he just walks through 2 of the Parra players like he's fucking Sonny Bill Williams, and a kick to the heavens where he outlives everyone like he's Israel Folau. That was your 12 of your points. And even at the end where you were supposedly robbed, even though you weren't, it was just another fucking kick garbage try where, sure, if he knocked it back, but like that's not sustainable. What also the first half try where Rogers getting thrown out and he just does the garbage inside ball to Harris Tavita was another 6 of your points. And you guys are just not at a stage that you can score or run an attack that threatens any of the top 4 sides. On the other side, shout out to Riles, Mitch Moses, Parra. They just continue, keep on keeping on. Another win for them, which with nothing to play for the last like 2 months, essentially, they have like been one of the teams from the bottom of the ladder that have climbed their way up. They're playing much better footy. And just want to give them a shout out because they played awesome again in a game they had no reason to try. Over to you, the ambassador of Warriors. Hey, what were your opinion on this one?
Well, I'm not going to scream at them anymore. The damage is done. At this point, they will have a home final, but it'll be a one-off. They've dropped to 6th with the Sharks victory. And they'll have to play Penrith or Roosters. No, Penrith, if they come 6th. So it'll be Penrith. That's almost locked in at this point. Because 5th will play Roosters, Roosters, Manly or Dolphins.
There is a chance they come 5th if Broncos lose and Warriors win or something.
If Warriors beat Manly,
their chances at the 4 is like minuscule.
Almost nothing.
Not only do they need to win at Brookvale, which is no guarantee, you need Sharks to lose to Dogs and you need Broncos to lose to Melbourne. So very unlikely at this stage.
Yeah, very unlikely. So I think their 4 is gone. They deserve a spot in the 8. I don't think they don't deserve it, but in my opinion, the other team does too, and it's just been a shit season. I mean, Parra towards the end of the year have been playing like a top 8 team.
Definitely.
I think everyone wants to focus on that one loss against South. Outside of that, they're 5 from 6. I think.
No, right now, I would straight swap them for the Warriors if I could.
Yeah, I would too. Moses, I mean, best half in the competition? Question mark.
Yeah,
at this point, it's between him, Cleary, and Hughes. But Moses is playing out of his skin right now. It's a shame they only have one game left and they can go annihilate Knights. And like you mentioned, I want to mention both Iongi and Halasima. Honestly, we should have a Rookie of the Year tie with these two. I don't know how they're going to decide it. I think they'll give it to Halasima based on the ladder.
I think he deserves it. He's so good.
I don't know why he's coming off the bench. I still don't understand what Webster's. He doesn't watch the podcast. But yeah, what a find from Parra. I mean, this is the next 10 years ridden with this guy at fullback, and that try just showed every part of his game. And as a rookie, Chansey was literally left for dead, and for him to run through one supporting, which we often you say, where's the fullback to support 90% of the time. One, he supported Junior Paulo because he knows he's going to offload. But two, getting Chansey just stood up and then running around him. He's not the quickest in the world, but he just was so crafty that he was able to do it. And there was no Parra players there helping because this guy was just on his own. And essentially that try won him the game and just pushed it out too far. So shout out to Parra. I think next week is going to be a very interesting. Dylan Brown's last game for Parra playing Knights, which is fucking funny. I think he'll play. He didn't play this game, but I'm assuming he'll play. But really didn't. I just took the best player on the field, and it's Moses at the moment. And wow, Parra's really run end of the season and completely changed our perspective for an end of season review from where they were.
Oh yeah, whatever notes we had down of what we're going to say about Parra, it's completely start from scratch based on how they've ended the year.
They've ended the year really well, and hopefully it's a building year for next year.
Now, we will allude to this more in the preview, but if you're Andrew Webster, what's your approach to the next round, seeing as the likelihood is that UConn's probably are not going to make the 4. Now, they are in luck because Serraldo pointlessly wants to go out and try, and there is a scenario where Melbourne full strength go and annihilate Brisbane, and Dogs full strength go out and they are favourites against Cronulla right now, but what would be your approach of, hey, do we run out R17, go all the way to Brookvale and then fly back home in the event that one of those idiots win? Or are you more in the camp of we should just rest everyone and take the home final against Penrith?
Look, if you could list Eddie for everyone in the reserves, wait for Brisbane to win or lose and then put them in, that would be the best way, but I don't know if the NRL is going to be too happy with that. Because if Brisbane win, then you're fucked. You can't come fourth. So it doesn't matter what Sharks do. So in that case, that would be the perfect scenario. And Brisbane play first, so you would know. But if you're going in blind, I honestly wouldn't even fly out to New Zealand. I wouldn't get them to fly out of New Zealand. Fuck that.
Same.
Look, I understand the 4 is probably the most important thing, but you get 2 chances, but so what? So what? Flying to Manly, everyone. What are you going to do? You're going to fly all the way to Manly, come home, maybe, and then fly to Raiders. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
That hypothetically could be even worse because knowing Manly and we'll get to it in the preview. I know Manly can't defend, but at the moment, the way Warriors are playing, if Manly score 30, they're going to win.
Yeah.
That's the problem because Warriors won't get to 30.
Yeah, you also
that's the issue.
You also run the risk of flying everyone out and trying and then losing to Manly anyway. Right?
And Manly, if it was someone that you didn't have anything to play for, if they were playing Knights, different story.
Yeah, for sure.
But playing Manly because they hypothetically still have a chance, and in a game that technically they can make it if they win 82-0 or some shit.
They'd be playing for Cherry Evans' final game.
And they're playing for Cherry Evans' final game. Look, they're going to fucking try for no reason.
Yeah.
They are a bit banged up as well because Kohler got injured in this game, and Garrick's still out, and Jake Jaboy. It's a winnable game for Warriors, but the way they're playing, I'd rather G up and take a bye and just fucking G up for Penrith.
The way I think of Webby as a coach, that he's come from the Penrith tree, I feel like he's going to try for no reason.
I feel like it's an embarrassment waiting to happen.
That you guys try and give up.
Try and lose.
Yeah. And then, where
do you go?
Where does that set you psychologically going into the final?
And Penrith are the complete opposite. They've had a bye this week, and then
you're going to go and rape Dragons.
rape Dragons and then get ready for Warriors, which is the complete other case. Look, I understand, okay, let's keep it going. No. Like, you've already lost the Parra, lose the fucking Manly game and just fuck off and at least give yourselves a one-game opportunity, because that Penrith game will be treated like your grand final. 100%. And I just feel like that's the right way for Warriors right now.
Anyway, we can talk about that more in the preview, which is going to be a massive job for us. But we can move on to my favourite personal game of the round. Shout out to JB, Jeremy, J-Maz, Barnsey. There was a lot on the line in this one for Back Yourself, and we end up smashing it on the Roosters money line. $2.80 we sent it out at, knowing that there was whispers throughout the early parts of the round of Bellamy deciding to rest half of his troops so they can get ready to go and annihilate Brisbane next week for no reason, and that's what ended up happening. I will say the Roosters were down at halftime, but they weren't out. A lot of silly errors and mistakes, self-inflicted in the first half. Pair that with some just insanely resilient defense on the side of Melbourne, which I can't believe, like, some of the tries of these pricks stopped to send Roosters into halftime scoreless, which was very, very impressive. But I don't know what the fuck Robbo said to these boys at halftime. They came out a team possessed in the second half, and probably the best variation of a Rooster side we've seen for the entire season. Putting 40 points on, look, even if it was the Melbourne B team, there was fucking the same B team that they were down 10-0 at halftime to, right? So that second half where Nwanga Nituwase turned possessed for us was a sight to behold, and the Roosters end up winning this one 40-10. Was your full-time score.
40-10.
40-0 was your second half score. For your upset alert, my friend, the Roosters played for you. Are you proud of them? And will you be claiming them after they played for you?
My audio's fucked. 1 second, lads. You can keep talking for a second.
Look, I would say that I was very, very frustrated watching the first half and thinking of how well Melbourne have actually performed without any of their players in the last 5-6 weeks, multiple rounds missing either Grant or Pappy and Hughes, where they've beaten this Roosters team already, Brisbane, Penrith, Bulldogs. At some point, you motherfuckers need to run out of gas, right? And I did have some self-doubt at halftime of, whoa, was it really worth taking it against these pricks in Bellamy's 600th, which was just one more opportunity for them to fire up, but in the end, it's like all the gas tank hit empty, and for a Melbourne team to end up conceding 40 the way they did in a half of footy is just, again, Jeremy, JB, I'm sure you boys have been watching this team for a long time. That just doesn't fucking happen, right? And in a weird way, I actually feel like it's the best thing that could have happened to them, because, I mean, Brisbane, fuck, you guys are dead. So that's just going to happen now.
Great podcast. The preview's done.
My God. And the way Bellamy was responding to the questions of, that's just not us, it was fucking piss weak effort, I swore at these cunts at full time. I feel like that's danger signs for the rest of the competition, knowing that they're going to be fully healthy in a few rounds.
They've literally lost one game, half. And everyone was jumping.
I'm not sure why everyone was giving them hate after literally beating their entire competition with no players in the last 6 weeks. You're allowed to have one shit half footy and end up, and it's not like the game was decided by the 50th minute either. Roosters just piled on in the last 10 where the scoreboard blew out, but this was tied with 17, 18 minutes to go. So shout out to Melbourne for giving it a red hot crack, down a lot of troops, resting half of their team against this side that had a lot to play for. And shout out to the Roosters, who we consistently say are a bunch of idiots and a stupid team, but they held their nerve and composure down 10-0 at halftime. And as I said, whatever Robbo said really resonated with the boys. No errors, no penalties. And once the game became an end-to-end contest and not a piggyback penalty one, the Roosters really flexed their muscles and showed themselves to be a force to be reckoned with.
Why are you giving them credit? Fuck these cunts. First of all, this was the deadest upset alert, and I apologize, but I couldn't have picked anyone else other than Parra. And Parra won as well. So literally all the favourites won. So fuck you. It won anyway.
Yeah.
My streak continues and we're going to the final round. Well, I don't know why you're apologising. I thought the 8 would have been finished by now. How come they didn't win last week? What happened?
I'm reviewing round 26. So.
No. I don't give a fuck. They played good for one half. This is what Roosters should be. And this is what's frustrating. How can you be a fan and be like, oh my God, what a performance, was so good. Mark scored 4 tries, yet last week you scored 10 points past Parra. What makes sense in this sport? And it's fine because I tipped Roosters and I picked them as my upset alert. But I don't give them any credit until the job's done. And you guys just play up to your competition. You like playing Melbourne. And knowing Roosters, the one time they won't make the 8 is when they beat Penrith and Melbourne in the fucking regular season.
Which hasn't happened
Ever. They haven't beaten them in God knows how long, and they haven't beaten Penrith in God knows how long. And now that they have, they won't be there.
Yeah. I will say, Roosters, you can't were also lucky. If that was full strength Melbourne, you can't would have been on 26-0 at halftime. So
yeah, look.
Think you're God.
One, they have the luck, and 2, the job's not done. And next week's preview, it needs its own episode. This South Roosters game, because with what South are projected to name out there, Roosters can fuck it up very easily.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the centers are going to be Latrell and Wyden.
Probably, yeah.
Jai Gray at fullback. Walker will be back. Murray will be back. Kumatangi's still there. This could be like an 11-on-11 game all over again. It could be another sin bin fest. I mean, South are going to be up for the fight, even though it means nothing, because they're playing Roosters and because you can't lost the power. The 8 could have been finished today. Could have been finished on Friday. Doesn't matter what Dolphins did. It doesn't matter what Burnley did. Doesn't mean shit. You could have rested the last game. You guys think of that, or is that too fucking dumb? You could have rested this last game. Why beat the try against South? Who gives a fuck? You're going to be in finals. But no. Now we have to wait for the $1.30 special Roosters, because Roosters at $2 are one team and Roosters at $1.30 are a separate team.
Yeah, if anything, they wish they were fucking picking every round.
Exactly.
Winning.
And fair enough. Look, they saved their season in the second half, like you mentioned, and I'll give them this much credit, but the job's not done. And it will be a failure end to the season if you're out of your last 3 games, you lost to Parra and South to miss the 8.
Yeah, I guess that's one way of looking.
Melbourne, you can't seem to fucking calm down, first of all. Everyone outside of Roosters literally got raped to this team without views. Including Roosters as well. The only team that can talk shit is Raiders, and they're first, so they can talk shit to everyone. Yeah. So all you pricks that think you're gangsters, they're not that good, did you see what Roosters... You can't still beat them. Did you beat them, Dogs? Did you beat them, Penrith? Sorry, did you beat them? I didn't see that. None of you cunts have beaten them. So who's talking shit? Shut the fuck up. It's pretty simple. And Brisbane, I know they're probably one of the cunts. You cunts are dead next week. You're lucky Graders are playing. This guy with their full strength went to 17 for no reason. To just destroy Brisbane.
Yeah. Warbrick played after about 4 months out. Actually. He actually looked fantastic, which is good, encouraging, moving forward into the back end of the season. Nelson, fuck me. He's actually at a point where he might be more of a liability than an asset with some of the fucking boneheaded decisions he makes, but in the end, I actually feel like this was the best outcome for both teams. Melbourne, you can't have to lose one game finally after 6 months, so thank you for losing. And Roosters, thank you for playing for us. $2.80, what a bet that was. That was the beautiful round.
Upset alert. The beautiful round continued.
We got a free win on Thursday and a double upset alert on the Friday, down the wires and down the Elban.
It finally happened. The double upset.
Moving on. Yeah, it took forever. Yeah. Moving on to 3 p.m. at the scene of the crime. If you even want to call it a crime, my Canberra Raiders destroyed our West Tigers by exactly 14 points, which got us home on the Canberra 13 plus bet that we took. In the end, was it the right side?
No.
Probably not, based on how lackluster Canberra were. I'm not sure if the occasion got to them or what it was. They didn't look like themselves for about 72 minutes of this game. They actually lost the offload count to Tigers 10-2. Have you seen a fucking Raiders game this year where they had 2 offloads in 70 minutes? I personally hadn't. And a lot of things that they wanted it to work so bad and it just wasn't clicking the way they normally would click it. Shout out to the Tigers who, after a heartbreaking defeat at the hands of the scumbags themselves, the Cowboys, I can't wait for 2 games from now to speak about that one. They went into a hostile environment, a packed Canberra stadium, tried their best for as long as they could, but they just don't have the troops to go with this Canberra team or the forwards. So shout out to Harry, Charlie, you, me, all the other Tigers fans. It's winding down for us, and that's probably a good thing because we can build for something next year. But on the Canberra side of things, I mean, wow, what a season, boys. Minor premiers, 44 points on the competition ladder. And I want to say that literally no one in Australia had this team coming first. I put them up there with Leicester of the shock of the sporting decade that they actually managed to go out there and win 19 games with 4 losses. On their resume, they have a win against Melbourne, a win against Penrith. They're 10-1 at home, and their only loss was to Bulldogs when they led 24-0. They beat Brisbane. They beat Cronulla. They beat Manly 500-0. They beat the Dolphins. They beat the Roosters without Fogarty in probably what is one of the most impressive regular season resumes from a side. Shout out to Ricky Stewart, who has really developed these players from dirt to jewellery to gold, whatever you want to call it. Ethan Strange, Kyo Weeks, Tom Starling. We know Tapani and Papali are great players. Matty Timoko, Tamale Mack for you came back and played all right. Jed Stewart, he literally is running his son out there. It's actually working. Sasangi, who scored for me, I'll die for you. And this has just been a fantastic story for rugby league. And the fact that this is already wrapped up with one game in hand, I can't think of a more impressive feat in recent regular season NRL history, in my opinion.
Yeah, what a season. I mean, I feel like the whole team took a step with Fogarty. Fogarty took the step last year, and we realised how good he was. And there was that period where he ruptured his bicep, and these cuts were wow bad. But the whole team has taken that step that Fogarty took last week. I mean, from the outside backs, which on paper, every year you look at them and they're actually not bad outside backs wise. But this year, everyone looked at them and be like, oh, what's Weeks going to deliver? You know, Matt Timoko wasn't that great last year. Who the fuck's Tamale Mack?
Yeah. Savage plays like an idiot.
Savage is an idiot 90% of the time, which he still is 50% of the time. But what they've done is just created such a great backline team that gets them enough meters to get their forwards on a roll. And their forwards have always been good. And our preview definitely said that the Raiders pack is one of the best in the competition.
You said it's a top 4 pack in the preview.
And they delivered. I mean, they're probably the best pack in the competition.
Yeah.
And they're missing players. And it doesn't look like it. I mean, Matty Nicholson probably started the year the best, second row in the comp. And we haven't had him since fucking round 4, whenever he got injured. And they just put Hoskins in, and it's no, nothing's changed. Papali'i has taken such a forward step in this season that he came out of retirement and played Origin, raped New South Wales. They're absolutely playing out of their skin. Now, next week, that's all I need to say. There's no reason to go fucking talk about what's next, because this is just a praise for Raiders, in my opinion. They've done such a great season. They deserve a week off, and I don't know who the fuck's going to go up there. Fucking Chevy Stewart and co. Fuck me. I mean, I think I said this in my reel couple day ago. You would see this, or 2 days ago. Dolphins is 6 already. It's already shifted. It's still not enough. It was going to be 20 on the day, I reckon. The cunts that are going to be out there for Raiders. Holy fuck. And Dolphins conveniently won today. They go to Redcliffe, and Farnworth's back. And in any capacity, if Roosters have already fucked it up on Friday, and Dolphins have a chance to make the 8, I don't think 6 is enough right now. But we'll see that more in the preview, because by then, maybe Sorrello's trying and told Raiders to try as well. God knows.
Well, Ricky has already come out and said that there are a lot of people carrying injuries and they will all be rested. I'm not going to take them to Redcliffe. That doesn't tell us all that we need to know. I don't think he will do a Ivan Cleary and rest the entire lineup, but I think the majority of the good players will probably get a spell.
Hudson, Fogarty, Strange, Weeks, minimum.
Papali, Tapani, I don't think they'll play.
No. All of them.
Maybe he'll have Matt Timoko and fucking Hosking play, sure.
Who gives a fuck?
They're still going to get raped by more than 6 points, aren't they?
Yeah. But what a season for them. 19 wins. 19 wins.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Fucking hell. And some of the losses, I mean, we called a few, but notably Dragons.
Yeah.
But just shit that you had to lose on the way.
Legit, their losses have been the Dragons won, the pointless game they went to Townsville and lost for no reason.
Which still burns you.
It still burns me. The infamous Manly game where the ref came out and said, Manly, I'm going to give you guys a 40-point head start, and 46 against. And the one where they led 24-0 to Dogs. Yeah. So that's a very impressive fucking resume. as far as this game goes, probably one of the worst games of the season. So I'm not going to allude to anything else. On the Tigers side, shout out to you boys for still trying, but a little too late in the end that you just fell short of those spots where you're still contending for a final spot. You're just playing for pride at this point, which you have had a lot of this season, but as far as this particular game goes, really like no interesting fucking thing to even discuss in any capacity.
We do have to say Raiders probably like tried for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Max.
Yeah.
Like, you know what you just say about Melbourne.
They are becoming the Melbourne of fucking 2025.
Yeah, true.
Moving on to 5:30 p.m. Shout out to the Zerafos brothers and all the Eagles out there in what was just an overs-a-thon of whoever had the ball more would score more points. Our first losing best bet, I would say, on the shoulders of myself, I did send the Dragons out at close to $2 odds. They were a fucking valuable commodity at Cogra. This was their last game there where they had beaten much better sides than Manly, but we did also run the risk of, are they mentally in Bali after giving up the Souths? And it seemed that, yeah, they are mentally in Bali after giving up the Souths. So Manly, another week where you can't throw the footy around. That's 100 points in 2 weeks for you guys playing the non-existent defenses of the NRL. So I'm really proud of you guys. You guys still suck, in my opinion. And there's really not much more to say. Cole, unfortunately, he goes down, who has been a shining light in a dull season for you pricks. And Dragons, fuck me, you guys have given up, which, as I said, you are allowed to give up after fucking trying 100%. For so long. So fair enough.
On the Manly front, you can't just fucking leave it too late, don't you? Mm-hmm. And so much promise in this team. It's so annoying. Like, you could have won some of those games in the middle that just fucking and easily made this 8 right now. And injuries haven't been on your side. Next week we're looking at no Collar, no Paseka, no Garrick, no Olakwatu. Like, it's no Jake. It's a lot of outs, right? And I very much doubt you have probably the least chance of making the 8 right now.
They can't make it.
Having to win 82-0 against Warriors. Or a combined 82 with how much Roosters lose, which they have to lose, and Dolphins losing, on top of that. So it's basically done, but you will try in the last round for Cherry Evans. I think he needs 2 more tries to reach his 100 tries in the NRL.
Give him a double.
I think that's why Saab passed the ball back to him. Like, Saab could actually just ran. But anyway, there was no one in front of him, but he gave it to Cherry Evans to go score in this game. But in this particular match, really, they're just throwing the footy around. Manly is playing like, who gives a fuck? We're fucked. We're going to not make it. Let's throw the footy around. And to be honest, this is when Manly are at their best, especially when it sticks. And Manly have to think of themselves as a team that if it doesn't stick, all right, we lose. And they just need to make sure that it sticks more often than it doesn't, in simple terms for Manly. And essentially why they won a finals game last year is because it stuck for 10 minutes in the end of the game, and that's why they won. Yeah. That was essentially it. And Turbo running through the middle on 5th tackle is never the right decision in any capacity, but
it
worked, right? And that's Manly to a T. I think a lot of this season, other than the quit jobs in defense, which you still can't defend for whatever reason, plus the injuries, but other than that, there's some fucking piss weak defense. Your offense is simply throw the footy around. It's all Pete Olakwatu with the fastest pass ever, and he just walks through the team. Simple. So you got to take that into next year, but it depends who's there next year, one. But we do know Fogarty is going to be there, which I say this every week. The more you watch Raiders, the more you'd like, that's the dumbest thing you cunts have done in a long time.
Agreed.
And it'd be such a shame if they don't make the grand final or something for Raiders side, to watch Fogarty like complete his last game in the prelim and not make a grand final with him, and he has to go to Manly. It's just like,
stupid.
What the fuck? Because that team, like, Strange has taken that step. He can go even further. He can play New South Wales. He's fucking insane right now. The whole team has got so much potential. Maybe the forwards are a bit aging, but still, you got Hudson, you got Tarpany, you got some new forwards coming up. Like, it's not going to be the end of the world. So the more and more you watch it, it's just the dumbest thing you've ever seen from Raiders. But anyway.
I agree with you, mate.
But Manly, like, fortunately get that. And I think I actually still have Dolphins in my 8 by some miracle, because I actually think Roosters will mess it up for me. But Manly, you cunts don't deserve to be there. Neither do Dolphins. And in my opinion, neither do Roosters. Because if Roosters are going to lose this South game, which is coming up next week, I would rather Parra there. To be honest. Because Fuck these cunts. What, you beat Melbourne, you think you're sick cunts. I know they think they're sick cunts right now. That's the other issue.
Yeah, but look, as funny as it is bagging them out,
No,
they have gone on a run of beating Manly, Dolphins, Dogs, and Melbourne. So
yeah, but who have they lost on either side of that? I don't get that argument. They've lost the Tigers and they've lost the Parra.
Yeah, I don't think losing to Parra is anything to scoff at
anymore. If you look at the games that they've lost, it's incredible. They lost to Raiders without Fogarty, which was one of the dumbest losses of the year, because Fogarty randomly didn't play with 30 minutes to go and they won anyway. They lost that Tigers game where they're 12-point favourites. They lost this Parra as 10-point favourites, and God knows there are other losses.
Yeah. But you could make that argument for all the teams that haven't made it.
You can.
Like Dolphins.
Dolphins are awful.
Manly, don't get me started on Manly.
Manly are awful.
Look, I'm actually glad Manly are not making the 8 because
they don't deserve it.
They have been a complete, like their games in a nutshell have been, are Manly playing a shit side? Okay, they win 13 plus. Are Manly playing a competent side? They lose 13 plus.
Except for that Melbourne game.
They're literally, yeah, that was the pointless one where they played for you. But outside of that, the games are like not even anywhere semblance of close. They play a retard, they score 50 and destroy them. Or they play dirt and they don't score 50 and they lose by 50 themselves.
And Dragons, based on like, if you can't actually had a healthy team most of the year and maybe Atkinson instead of fucking King Tonga. You guys would probably make the 8. I mean, the Flanagan actually plays, like gets these guys to play with heart. And that's something that doesn't happen often.
I'm glad you brought that up. King Tonga might be one of the worst defensive players I've ever seen.
His decisions are awful.
I mean, you could just like walk to the try line on his side of the field. Fuck me.
Well, he would have been
I get he's young, but there was no Ola Kawatu running at him on the weekend. Let me tell you that. Anyway, we can move on. There's really no, I'm not going to bag out Dragons. Like they've already done their job. Zarefos Brothers, it's all right. There's always next year.
Well, no. Everyone hates them now. Did you not hear? After that, Dragon, bro, they're such a bad team. After they've played,
they're always bad.
Nah, but
at least like. Give some credit to a bad team when they go out and beat Sharks and Raiders. Fucking half these other cunts in the top 4 haven't done that.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
To your team.
To the international team, the All Blacks. End the season of Cowboys. And I could, if my ACL wasn't torn, I would get up and do a cartwheel that I don't have to see these motherfuckers again until season 2026. I'll deal with you pricks in depth.
Vegas.
When the review of the season comes out 1 week after the grand final, when we go and do our 4-hour job, half of it might be talking about you guys, but in the end, the Reece Walsh show continues without Adam Reynolds. Good news out of the Brisbane camp that he has hurt his hamstring and he won't play again. So these guys can continue scoring 40 points a week without him. As I mentioned 4 weeks ago, that this cunt is the demise of Broncos, including in the grand final. I remember.
You hate him.
Reece Walsh, rocks and diamonds. He literally had 1 rock ton. Give him a break. With 5 diamonds. That's a pretty good ratio if you ask me. And they take the Cowboys down. Balls of all-time score 38-30 in another overs-a-thon where cunts were just throwing the footy around and it was sticking. A very back-and-forth affair, 12-0, 12-all, 18-all, 24-18, 38 fucking 24 like this. Cowboys score some garbage at the end. In fairness to the Cowboys, a few more lucky bounces, more than you already get every week, and you actually might have covered this game for no reason. The Nanai knock on into the no try, and then here comes Payne Haas down your fucking throat to end your season. Was very vindicating for me, but unfortunate for Cowboys backers that there was only really a centimeter in that no try in the end. Broncos also did score off 8 forward passes. You could have fucking confused them for the Denver Broncos throwing the ball forward with Ashley Klein refereeing. I mean, wake up. But I'm not going to feel sorry for Cowboys because I despise them. And in the end, the Battle of Queensland goes to the big brother Broncos, who have refound their offense under the tutelage of Billy Walters and Ben Hunt. What did you make of this one?
This is reminiscent of Dragons back in the day. Just that Hunt actually has played at this point. Is it great we can see a team actually be able to score? Yeah. Is it great that the player that makes them get all the tries gets bagged out for one mistake? Yeah. You guys need to shut up on Walsh, bro. Like, I think it's been 2 seasons we've sat here and backed him. These cunts can't score without him. Like, it's impossible. They don't know what scoring is. The only shame is, and I feel like I wish there was like a half chance that Ezra could come back.
I know, yeah.
Because this would have been like the weirdest, but it would have been one of the games of the finals. This Raiders team playing these red hot Broncos. And knowing Broncos, look, they fall asleep in defense sometimes, but fuck me, they can score. And it's all through Walsh at the moment. When Ezra was there, Ezra was taking a bit of the slack, and Walsh wasn't playing to this level. But it's a shame we couldn't see both of them at the same level. If they were both playing as possessed as they have been, bro, we could have had anything in this finals run. But at the moment, Brisbane sitting pretty, and for the first time, the Wires are not in the 4 with Brisbane winning. I was very excited at this game. I was actually at a wedding, so all I could think in my mind is sitting there thinking about that Brisbane someone has finally overtaken the Warriors from the top 4. It's taken 26 rounds, but they're not in the top 4. Which really put a smile on my face, knowing that the next day, obviously, Sharks were going to overtake them as well. But, I like Knights. It's more important that Cowboys lose. From the Cowboys front, I'd love to see where the commenters out from our preview of the whole season. When we sat here and said, I was contemplating them going to come last. This team is awful.
They ended the season minus 146 points.
This team is atrocious. The fact they won that many games, and some of their games...
Oh my God.
What they conceded the most points? I'm not surprised.
They've conceded more than Titans.
Yeah.
684 points.
But Titans have 1 week to go. But they play Tigers. They're not going to score that many.
Wow. They actually... If Titans can keep Cowboys...
The Tigers, you mean?
If Titans can keep Tigers to under 29 points, Cowboys will have the most conceded.
No one's close. No one's even close.
No one's even close. What the fuck, boys? 700 is like Cameron Serrato's first year territory.
That's all bad. I said from the start, these cunts are awful. And I think there's a few teams that could potentially win next week. Is it South below them? South below them?
Yeah. No, Souths are ahead of them.
Oh, Dragon. Oh. Well, okay.
Well, Dragons got to 15th. Why?
Well, Dragons are not going to win next week. It's a miracle. And they've had Knights that need a miracle.
They will end in the bottom 4 where they belong. They've had an awful year.
Cowboys?
Yeah.
No, but they'll get 2 points. Maybe they won't. No, we need.
Sure. Okay.
Someone has to. They will not finish.
On the draw to fucking Penrith, they'll come 13th instead of 14th. What a fucking...
No, bro. Do you see how far up they're going to go?
Nah, fuck them.
Tigers and fucking... They're all on the same points.
You can't conceded 700 points.
We said... I think there was a few people that said that, no, they'll make the 8. Make the 8. They're awful. Yeah. Souths with their injury... are still in front of you. That's embarrassing.
That's really bad.
Souths have literally run out their dirt.
Yeah.
Like most of the year.
I think Cowboys have had quite a big injury toll themselves, but
not their stars.
It's all ancillary pieces, right? Yeah. The stars, Dearden, Drinkwater, Robson, Nanai,
they've all played.
They've all played the entire year, right? So for you guys to run out as many Origin players as you have and concede 700 points in the season is something's wrong in North Queensland. Fuck me.
Yeah. So look, thank God we don't have to talk about it until the end of the season review, which is going to be a 4-hour job between them and Knights. Hopefully they're not back-to-back. But, always the end of season reviews are the best when we talk about the shit teams, which I feel like we're going to talk like shit about the same teams. Nah, all Titans are involved. That's another 6-hour job.
They could get their own episode.
They're so bad.
Week by week, we can go by how bad they were, including today.
But look, it is what it is. Brisbane, high hopes, as long as Reynolds is out, according to you. Yeah. Which, you know what? You fucking pulled it off because every time he hasn't been there, they've played guns. So these guys don't know shit. They're actually having named in there.
High hopes.
Billy Walters, I don't know, you turned into fucking...
He's playing for his daddy.
Well, like, that ball to Karapati, like, what the fuck? When have you done that in your life? But... you know what? It's working. And Ben Hunt, like I said, he's playing with just better players and he thinks he's a dragon. So I actually think Ben Hunt didn't have a great year, but now he's in the halves. He's looking much better. I feel like he's in control of
I'm telling you,
the game.
Ben Hunt and Mam, and they might have been on. But this is unfortunate. The part of the podcast that doesn't give me any joy to have to relay the truth about Brisbane to the rest of the world, because I have been riding them for weeks and weeks without Adam Reynolds through comedy only. And it has been joyful, and the people on BackYourself Premium have been reaping the rewards of getting on them round after round after round. They keep covering. So this is their recent run against the competition they've had. 60 points to Souths, who had completely given up in that game. Physically they were in Brisbane, but mentally they were fucking somewhere
100%.
new. Bali, maybe.
100%.
2 points to Melbourne. you could somewhat forgive them for this because of the snipers that were in the crowd, but
yes.
I would expect better than 2 points, personally. 38 points to Dolphins, who had fucking also can't defend air, which we also saw again today. Also had nothing in that fixture. And now, Knights, look, they can't score. But you can't put up 46 to them, which is
actually normal.
Which is normal from Knights to concede that. And then 38 to Cowboys, as I just alluded to. That's probably their average for what these pricks conceding around. Do I think that Walsh's heroics and the way they're scoring their points through backline shifts from their own 20-meter line, and I'll just throw a cut out to Mariner here, and I'll just walk through the Cowboys players or / Dolphins players / Titans players / fucking Souths players. Is that going to work with you motherfuckers going to Canberra or playing Penrith or going... I'm not sure that without Mam, there is many top 8 sides that they will actually beat, including I genuinely think they would go and lose to Roosters in the semis.
Yeah, well, it's a bad matchup for them. And Roosters typically play them really, really well.
They do. Usually. And I'm not sure that they're built to win shootout style games, but I actually don't even think their offense is good enough to score enough in a shootout. Because defensively, I don't think they can hold Raiders or all these other pricks under 24 points.
They need Penrith.
And on the other side of things, with the ball in hand, I don't think Reece Walsh is going to go score 50 points against fucking Canberra in week 1 of the finals. Sorry, boys, but it's just not going to happen.
They literally need Penrith. That's the only one. I don't think they can beat Roosters.
Penrith will feed them as well.
Really?
Yeah.
But they have none. They're going to get knocked out.
Their forward pack.
Well, they're going to play Raiders. Sorry.
Yeah.
They got 2 weeks to fucking figure it out. Essentially. Yeah. But. I don't know. I think this team right now, they've had this is like their finals run.
Yeah. It's a good little story. I'm sure the Broncos fans have been enjoying them scoring 50 around, but I think that's probably going to end sooner or later. Moving on to our team, the Newcastle Knights. After the news broke that Adam O'Brien has given up on the club, who should have probably given up on him a long time ago, you already know what we had to do. We had to take the Knights with the points. 18.5 was the head start. And it was covering Chris until 15 seconds
Leo
ago.
Thompson.
Here comes fucking Leo Thompson masquerading as Benji Marshall. But he passed more like Benji Marshmallow into the sideline, and Hamlin Uele still thinks it's July, so he scores for no reason. The Sharkies, after going down in a 10-0 hole to Fletcher Hunt and co., wake up to themselves and annihilate the existence of Knights, scoring probably 34 unanswered points, because Knights are just out of answers as a club in general. This one hurt me to watch personally because I really thought Knights were out there. When Cogger kicked the 40-20, I was like, this is a brand new team. But there was nothing new about them. And unfortunately, goes more salt in the woods for Newcastle, who truly, when you sit and think about it, after starting the season, 2 wins, 0 losses, have been absolutely abysmal.
Yeah.
And
they're in contention.
Some would give them an injury pass, and that's partially applicable. No Ponga, no Dylan Lucas, no Fletcher Sharp. That's a lot of punch that these pricks would otherwise have, and I don't think they would be where they were if these players were fit and healthy for the whole year. But the fact that you started 2-0, and after 6 months, Titans have 5 wins, and you pricks are 1 Titans win away from coming last is really concerning. Yeah. And these recent results where every single week you can't go out and lose by 50, they don't even cover anymore. It's not even cool. Literally...
not cool.
Like we said, and Adam O'Brien said as well in his give up press conference, from the point that Halasima scored, these cunts quit on the year.
Yeah.
Look at this. 40-16 to Sharks, 46-12 to Broncos, 38-4 to Cowboys, 48-12 to Penrith, 44-18 to Raiders. That's their 5 games since Halasima literally put a dagger into them. So on the night side, look, your season was done after Halasima scored, and you cunts have given up accordingly. Fair enough, you can't suck.
Are you going to claim him past, what's it called? Adam O'Brien's era?
Yeah, that was my era.
No, but I'm saying...
once he leaves?
Yeah, Blake Green era is not that fun.
If they can continue to not score, yeah.
Yeah, but they've got players to score next year.
But they've had players to score for a long time, but they just can't.
Yeah, but
they'll never be the same with that.
No, they won't be the same.
If that's your question.
Yeah.
On the Shark side, typical... Top 4 team goes on a bye, comes out sleeping, but you were lucky enough and fortunate enough that you were playing Knights. So that's, in and of itself, was a free win. Like we said a few weeks ago, it's 2 buys back to back. The bye and then Knights.
Okay.
What do you make of this one, champion?
I think just the only thing from the Sharks front, like, let's see how bad Trindle is. He's a big piece of this team, and God, he's playing some good footy. But look, I don't.
Nice.
Do I give them? It's a lot of Knights than Sharks, but look, they have put 40 up twice now on either side of their bye to fucking dirt teams.
Titans and Knights.
Which exactly why I think if they get into the 4.
They're the worst top 4 side of all
They're
time.
the worst top 4 side ever. I agree.
Okay.
And I said this like 2 weeks ago. No, last week when Raiders won in the infamous game to keep Penrith out of top 4. They would play the worst and still make the 4 and give them a chance. Give them their best chance that they've had ever to make a prelim, home prelim. And that's like pretty, like, just awful from the league itself. Like, the fact it's got to this point. From everyone, right? Because Sharks have been a lot better in other years, had home finals against better teams. Like that Cowboys team that ended up losing to Parra just before the grand final was better than fucking Dogs.
Yeah, they were. And Warriors.
And every time these cunts make the 4, they always conveniently get Penrith or they have to play Melbourne. And in their worst year, they have to play this Raiders team, which I know Raiders like playing out of their skin, but when everyone's going to look at that game and be like, oh, Sharks could fucking pull this off. Well, if they play Penrith in Melbourne or Penrith in the grand final, you'd be like, these cunts are dead.
Nickera and Raymond will come back. What the fuck would the point spread be in week 1 if they go to Canberra? Are you really going to put Raiders like 8.5?
They have to.
I think it'll be 6.
6 is not enough. I would put 8.
Sharks $3.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because like,
bro,
I think Raiders will
Raiders will beat them.
I completely disagree with you. On surface level, it seems like they're 1 win away from. I think they'll like die.
No. I'm not saying they're going to win. What I'm saying is,
I know what you're saying. You're right.
It's the worst time they've played, worst sequence of games they've played ever, and they literally have the best chance possible. They've got better shoes than Dogs.
Yeah.
And Dogs like killed their fucking selves to come third.
These cunts have like barely lifted a finger the whole year,
and they've played like ass since they haven't changed from fucking Vegas.
Yeah,
and they're gonna come 4th. Like just silly. But at the moment, I think Brisbane would be hypothetical. Oh, actually, based on the odds, Brisbane would be favourite to come 4th because as is it will end. But I don't think Dogs are going to play everyone still. So I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
It would be Brisbane. Hypothetically, if Sharks were $1.02. Like they should be, and Sorrelli gave up, Sharks would be favourite.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not the case. But we'll just have to see next week. Can Sharks Sharks against Roosters? It'll pain me. I actually won't be able to bet on that game because I can't be bothered.
I know Roosters will go and beat them.
I know Roosters will beat them.
That's
but
the problem.
I can't do it. If they can't play Penrith. Well, they can if Warriors win this week, but hypothetically they probably can't. I would rather than play Penrith. Get it out of your fucking system and just get out.
That's at Cronulla week 1 at least.
Just get out.
Because the shit thing for Sharks is like, because their stadium's so awful that they actually don't even have a home.
Yeah, but they will play this one. Like the first week.
In the prelim, I'm saying. You know how you're saying they have a chance for a home prelim? Unfortunately, they're just going to play at fucking a core stadium anyway, so they may as well just lose and go on. Like, let's say...
They'll be underdogs in the prelim.
Let's say they come 4th, because we think early male Broncos, he comes to dead.
Yeah.
But that's assuming Sharks will be Dogs full strength. Let's say Dogs don't play everyone, which I don't think they'll play everyone. I don't think they will. Sharks fuck me the value, $2.50.
Yeah.
Let's say they come 4th and they get raped by Raiders.
They'll have to go to Allianz.
They would match up week 2 with Penrith or Roosters or Brisbane.
Or Warriors. No, actually, we're not going
to. And all of those would be at Allianz?
Yeah.
Or like a core or something?
Yeah. They can beat Brisbane.
At worst, they'll probably be like, 4-point Dogs to Penrith?
Yeah, no, but then it falls into the same case. They have to go to Melbourne in week 3 and get raped.
Yeah.
So
they have to win week 1, don't they?
Yeah, they have to win week 1. That's their grand final. But I mean, we could get a year that the team that has the bye in the prelim are going to be underdogs week 1 in the prelim. The Sharks would genuinely be underdogs. Imagine they have to play Penrith.
Yeah, they'll be. Yeah,
they'd be underdogs.
Yeah, deservedly so. Like,
deservedly, I'm not saying they're not, but they would be.
They're like the same way. I'm like, I don't want to see Manly in the 8 because of what they've dished out. Sharks to me are the equivalent of I don't want to see them in the 4.
Yeah,
genuinely, I think Warriors deserve a 4 spot more than Sharks.
Yeah, they do.
Sharks from start to finish of this season, they just played like fucking ass. And for them to somehow scrape in, I guess in a weird way, if we were to give them some credit, kind of speaks to their consistency under Craig Fitzgibbon, where they've been top 4 multiple times, they've been top 8 every single year, and come hell or high water, they get the results in the end, whether it's pretty or not. But I feel like they are a side this year, as opposed to other years when we've actually had hope in them, that they're just making up the numbers because they're just not playing good enough.
Well, look, they're not playing good enough, but how do we not know that this is not going to be the breakout? I mean, when they've played good enough, they've never done shit. So fuck it, let's do something else.
Yeah,
and
sure.
if they get a home prelim, if they're underdogs or not in that prelim, you have to take them off a bye. I mean, who else? And hypothetically, probably won't be Penrith because they're going to have to go to Melbourne. It'll be Dogs. They will be underdogs to Dogs. I'd take Sharks in that prelim.
Would they be underdogs off a bye?
I think so.
At worst, they'll be a pick 'em.
At worst, at worst, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Because essentially, because they're so fucking rubbish, even if they beat Raiders, no one's going to rate them anyway. Everyone's going to be like, who gives a fuck?
I feel like if they beat Raiders, they'll get some fucking...
They'll get sat on?
I don't know. Because Raiders are like you said, these guys are going to be minus 8.5.
True. But like, that's the only hope you can have because I agree with you. They don't deserve to be in the 4. The only hope is when they've deserved it, they've never done anything. So who gives a fuck?
I also agree with you that they would be very fortunate to draw Raiders because going to Melbourne is the fucking death sentence for anyone. Sharks, Penrith, Dogs, you name it, they'll go there and die. So the fact that they would actually have a chance, like you could still make the argument of Raiders are inexperienced and young and hot-headed and they might make errors, blah, blah, blah. I know that Melbourne, like I've seen this movie before already, they'll just go get raped again. But on the Raiders side, like who knows what would happen.
Look, Raiders should win, and I don't think their season deserves to lose to Sharks week 1 and then have to play Penrith. But weird things have happened in this sport. And I know the weird thing is not happening on the fucking other side because Melbourne are going to dismantle Dogs.
I'm very intrigued for next week now. What kind of Sharks we get out and what the fuck Dogs do, whether they name everyone or not, and how hard those players actually try once they are named. Very interesting how that will match up.
Well, it will be interesting what the bye does. Like, if Sharks are going to play full strength, maybe not without Trindle, and Atkinson will be there, we'll see. And Dogs play full strength. It's basically a finals game. And for whatever reason.
Oh, you know what's also interesting? If Broncos win on the Thursday, Sharks will just fucking quit.
Yeah. I mean, they're the number 1 quitters if Brisbane win. But Brisbane are not going to win, are they?
To keep things interesting. But if Brisbane somehow win, like let's say Melbourne... Whatever. Let's just say Brisbane win because it's a pick 'em, right? 50-50. My ass. More like 90-10. Sharks will probably just fucking mail it in. What's the point of them trying against Dogs?
I'll tell you right now, this is a sneak peek for the preview. Something always goes to the end, and when we have 3 variables that can all change in one round, something is going to come down to that Sunday. Either Knights are going to be last at that point because Titans have already won, and Knights have to win to not get the spoon. Dolphins win and make the 8 against Raiders.
On the Sunday,
Or Sharks win and make the 4. Yeah. I mean, one of those will happen. Definitely. It's just which one it will be.
Yeah.
I don't think it will be all of them. Like, all of them will just be fucking pandemonium on the podcast next week. But I think it will be at least 1, if not 2, that happens that day. I'm leading the Dolphins side. I think Brisbane may win this game.
My favourite one would be if it's Knights.
It could be the Dolphins and the Knights, so Sundays are just fucking go.
Sunday is just great. I hope that's the case. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough to talk about Knights. In hindsight, do you think 19.5 on Knights was the right side?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they deserve to cover it.
I mean, wait, let's...
7 minutes?
Yeah, actually, we should give them credit for this because they didn't try. 12 minutes.
Yeah, if they try, this would be 60-0. It's night.
Yeah.
Moving on swiftly to the Dolphins and the Titans, the Battle of Queensland. In the battle of these Queensland teams that can't defend for shit, which we saw twice this round. And it's the Titans coming out asleep at the wheel, coming back miraculously just to sleep at the wheel again, to then come back miraculously and then sleep at the end and lose anyway. Titans team is something new. Every game with these cunts is a roller coaster, and at least the credit I could give them this round is that it was an up and down roller coaster as opposed to just a spiral into the ground. But it was looking like a spiral into the ground in that first 15. The Dolphins came out, and we said there's no reason or realm of possibility that the Titans can actually defend this Dolphins team at all. And literally every time they went to the Hammers side with Trey Fuller there, it looked like these cunts scoring, which as Trey Fuller broke the line and gave it to Hammer to make this 18-0, I thought
they're going to give
this is going to be 700-0, but here come the Titans. Every round, these pricks.
Well, if they're going to rack up the score, it would have been...
Titans are like a funnier, way shitter version of Cowboys.
Yeah. They're Walmart Cowboys.
They score garbage. They're never really out of, but they are out of it because it's Titans. Cowboys is like, they're actually never really out of it because of how good their attack is. Titans is like, they're out of it because it's Titans, but they'll make it interesting. And then they did make this one interesting. In the end, -5.5 hits for Back Yourself Premium, which seals a double-digit winning round, which was fucking fantastic. This line closed at 8.5, so obviously when you bet is very important for those on the Titans at +6, +8. Well done for those on the Back Yourself Premium. Wow. Shout out to you guys, and if you're not on Back Yourself Premium, wake up to yourself.
Can't say to wake up.
What did you make of this one, champion?
Who cares? I mean, talk about a team that doesn't deserve to make the 8 as well, Dolphins. I think it is suited to be Roosters as much as I don't think they deserve it either. None of the three, I think, ever deserve it. Literally, pull Parra. They've showed more fucking heart than these three motherfuckers.
I would say same with Dragons as well, but they just haven't had
haven't had the fucking... same with South. Like, they just haven't had... all three of those teams haven't had the players, but they've shown more heart than the three that actually could make the 8. Mm-hmm. Dolphins, like... The only thing that I do enjoy about Dolphins, and I think someone like Brisbane, it would be annoying for them, these motherfuckers score from anywhere. And this is without probably the best center in the competition. And come next week, I mean, Raiders don't give a fuck. Shout out to Ricky. Just like, I'm not fucking playing these cunts. Which is fair enough. He's first. He's not fucking Sorrell, though. He doesn't give a fuck. Even though he's going to have to play the easier game. Sorrell, you really need to watch the podcast. But someone like Dolphins going to Brisbane, hypothetically, or Dolphins, if in some magical scenario playing Warriors, which actually could be the case if Brisbane lose and Warriors win, it would be the repeat of fucking the notorious game when they scored in the quarter. Warriors, the team that cannot physically score.
Versus the team that can't stop scoring.
Versus the team that just can't stop scoring. And look, next week, it's as simple as this, cunt. I don't care if you're playing Raiders or not. Keep Fuller at fullback and you put Herbie and Hammer. It's very simple. Don't fuck it up, Wolves. Which you've actually done really well this year. And you've got to give him credit as well.
I like him.
They've done a lot of good work with no forwards. Forwards.
I was going to say, is there a chance you could put Herbie and Thingy next to each other on the left side?
Well, put him wing.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I would assume Averillo goes to the wing. It's the hectic team.
The hectic boys.
This is the 1 to 7, hypothetically. Fuller, Asako, Herbie, Hammer, Averillo, Nikorima, and Katoa.
Yeah, that's fucked.
I mean... And Marshall King playing 9. It depends. He didn't score this week.
That's why they won.
Yeah. But hypothetically, even if it means nothing, they're gonna dismantle Raiders, and that Sunday slate is going to be an absolute show anyway. Regardless,
it's going to be
because these guys are going to throw the footy around. It's 2 p.m. at Redcliffe. The crowd's going to be fucking going nuts, and hopefully it's going nuts that you can't make your first finals. But we'll wait and see. But because your offense, like, I want you guys there. I would love to see that sort of team in the finals. I know if I get Brisbane Roosters, it's going to be fucking 18-20 and Roosters will win. Like, I'd rather see Brisbane Dolphins and it's like 40-42 in the fucking finals game. At least we can watch some fucking tries. Because don't worry, you get if you want to see defense, tune to fucking Warriors Penrith. Yeah. No one's going to score in that game.
8-6 full time.
Yeah, and Dogs, well, they'll score 0 regardless in that game. So... if we have the pinnacle of Raiders and Sharks, they also will score 0. So, like, we need someone to score some fucking points in the finals, and at least Dolphins are in there. Look, their offense, as much as we sit here and complain a lot about teams being unable to score, these cunts, like, at least it's in their forte. And you know what? I'm going to add Titans to that discussion. You cunts may give up in defense and give up 90% of the games. At least you can't score garbage, unlike Knights. And... your quit jobs are pretty predictable 90% of the time. You try for no reason when you have no one, and then you give up when you have players. It's pretty obvious. And this was a game that you tried to give up, but your offense is so good through garbage that you continue to score. So, look, another fucking overs fest, and Dolphins are a game away from possibly making their final. So all hinges on fucking Friday.
I think you can already put a W next to them in the Raiders game. They would never lose that, considering what Raiders are going to run out there. So I'm sure the Dolphins boys will be packed at fucking someone's house, beer in hand, all in Redcliffe, waiting to see what happens. And if this, probably all dressed in red and green to see if these pricks can win for them on Friday and give them a sniff at the finals. The hilarious thing is that
this couldn't be at Suncorp and they would have sold it out.
The stupid thing is that now they somewhat actually have to win by margin, and Souths have to win by margin as well, because I think the point differential is close to 20. And that actually shows that every single one of fucking Nwanga-Nituase's pointless tries might end up saving these pricks come the end. But if it gets to a situation where even Souths win by 1 and Dolphins know exactly, we need to win by 19, they will fucking throw the footy around until they score 500.
If South, everything, I don't mean it as a Roosters hater. I'm telling you guys the truth. This is honest. You cunts are a scary team. If anyone can knock you cunts out, Raiders will literally donate them tries to get you cunts out of the finals. They would rather see Dolphins there. You think Raiders will ever be scared of Dolphins?
Fuck no.
Well, they would be rather more scared of you cunts kicking the mark every fucking 3 seconds and Tupa on the other side. That's more annoying. Because your forwards actually dominate. Your backline dominates. If you can't even a sniff, if you can't fuck it up the South, I'm telling you, Raiders may let them score 50 and give up and lay down on the floor. They were like, fuck it, you can't go beat them as long as Roosters don't make it, because that's the level. You cunts are good. And that's what frustrates me the most about Roosters. And I hope Roosters fans feel the same, is that literally cunts in the finals don't want to see you. And that just possesses you guys to fuck it up even more.
Yeah. Anyway,
it makes no sense to me. But Dolphins, look, everyone out of all other 15 teams outside of Roosters fans, what you cunts in the eights over them, 100%.
Yeah, I agree. And this is sort of situation where if Roosters go out at $1.13 win come Friday and Souths don't have it in them to draw the big scalp, you're more so than any other team kicking yourselves of that start of the season where you 100%. Started 0-4 and you will pick them 4 games in a row. Who'd you lose? Well, they got raped by Brisbane. That's fine.
Knights.
But the Knights and the Tigers, where you led by heaps, and the week 1 where you lost to Outs, that's probably what's going to hurt you in the end. Do you get credit for coming back and ending the season with a 100-point differential from where you started? Yeah, absolutely you do.
With no players.
The more players that left fucking got out injured, the more you pricks ended up scoring every round. So it has somewhat been your identity since you joined the NRL that you start well and you fade late, but I give you guys a pass for that, seeing as you are a new franchise and you just don't have quite the depth. This was a depth-building year, so whatever happens, I feel like you guys are in a steadfast next year to really, as Chris said, fuck knows. If you guys are healthy enough, even make a top 4 push, we'll see what happens.
Holy fuck. What
your attack is like just fucking blistering. And when Fuller and Hammer are there together, it's like, if you mentally clock off for 0.5 seconds, they're just under your try line.
Who do you even... I mean, we'll get to this more preview, I guess, next year. Who the fuck do you drop out of the back line I just named?
It's fun. Yeah, it's
for
insane.
Cobbo. I mean, he has to
Cobbo's there, and not only that, Bostock comes back, Herbie comes back, so they just are gifted with players fucking left, right, and center. On the Titan side, you guys are just despicable.
You cunts deserve to come last. I hope our Tigers beat you, cunts.
Because I sat there, right, and at some point I was like, they're 8.5. Like, I probably should take them. This Dolphins team can't defend. I know Titans can get like 24. Can they stop Dolphins from getting more than 32? Probably not. And they didn't. They literally went out there, conceded 36. All they did was score garbage. In their defense, if the Brian Kelly forward pass was actually thrown like a human being, they actually would have won. But put that in a myriad of list of things that you can't have fucked up this year. This has been a disaster of a year. So
give up.
We'll see what Josh Hannay can do to potentially save you pricks. But there's really no words for you cunts until the season review, because us coming out week after week and yelling at you, it's the same garbage round after round, unless you're playing Knights. So that saves a lot.
Can they do it against Tigers? Find out soon.
We'll find out. I think my confidence is eroding a little bit more with how bad these pricks are.
Well, I'm on them. I don't have Knights, but I have Titans
I think last. If there was a team deserving of the spoon, it was Titans. They were awful. Thankfully, Dolphins won this game to make things interesting for next week. If Titans ended up winning in golden points, it would have been fucking gay. So that's that. That's round 26 wrapped up in the books. It was an interesting one. Back Yourself Premium are doing cartwheels right now because they have won so much fucking money.
And you can't still
There's a lot to look forward to in round 27 as well. I'll be fucking working overtime in the lab to pick every single bit of value Sharks. And we'll go from there. Your 3 big takeaways in this one, Chris, what caught your eye in round 26 of the NRL?
Oh, well, starts it off. Parra, you cunts are going to get such a glowing review, which is not a surprise because I do like Parra. But glowing review to end of the season.
I like Royal.
Cunts are fucking on bags at the moment. Look, Warriors may not be at their best, but for where you guys are positioned, the games you've played so above your potential, and it only can get better for next year. But we'll see. Without Dylan Brown, it looks like you haven't missed a step. Like, you look better without Dylan Brown at the moment. So obviously, like, you need a fucking 5'8", but we'll figure that out next year. Raiders, what a fucking season. I mean, don't worry about this game. Just seeing the whole fucking the Viking clap with 1 minute to go, it means so much to them, and I think it's been too long that these cunts haven't won a minor premiership. And trust me, they would have celebrated it much more than Melbourne would have fucking celebrated. They don't give a fuck that they won it last year.
Agreed.
And they don't give a fuck if they won it this year. So I'm happy the Raiders won it. A caps off to a great season, and now strike a line through it. It's basically a reset, and I hope they do reset and just go, okay, that season, that's done. Let's fucking win this thing. And that's the way they're going to have to win it, because come grand final day, you may be first, you may have got 44 points, you will be underdogs to Melbourne. There's no denying that, especially full strength. So hopefully cunts are there. You definitely deserve it. And finally, to my Sharks, which I claimed, cunts are awful. And we've said it since round one, the cunts have been awful. Like, round one, we said, what the fuck's wrong with these cunts? And nothing's changed. But the fact you're literally a Brisbane loss, which we're almost penciling in because they're playing full strength Melbourne, and Dogs trying away from making the top four, bewilders me. We had you cunts first, and we've said there were points in the season cunts were like, these cunts might not even make the 8. And now they're going to finish top 4. And literally, they're not playing Penrith, which everyone would have thought up there. They're not playing Melbourne, who everyone thought would be up there. They get to play Raiders. And in my mind, you cunts have been great at times making the 4 and fucked it up anyway. So what's the difference if you cunts are awful and make the 4? At least fucking change it up. And play for Josh Hanoi, you shit cunts, because he's going to fucking... He's not going to win anything at Titans. So just fucking play for him.
He might save them.
No, he won't.
All right.
With who?
On my turn. Warriors... You guys have degenerated into peg the ball at Halasima, our 19-year-old bench fucking a super sub. And outside of that, your offense is absolutely anemic. Hard to watch at times. Fuck me.
Nice.
I would personally give Metcalf the Dalian.
Just because?
I would give him Dalian points every week.
That was the other thing. Continue.
I would give him Dalian points every week that you cunts don't score more than 20.
I was going to say...
Through his absence.
Only Roosters, think about this, only Roosters will have the Dalian medal.
That doesn't make the... I know. That's hilarious in and of itself. Second to that, Raiders, probably one of, in my lifetime watching the NRL, the greatest regular season feat, in my opinion, of you guys being... I've never seen a team bottom 4 and actually go out and fucking go 19-4. And if they were actually try and get 20 fucking wins on the season, that is insane. Shout out to Charles Croon, shout out to Ricky Stewart, all the boys in Canberra. 100%. Truly, you also did provide me the greatest moment of the season where you destroyed fucking Penrith's the dynasty. Suck my you-know-what. And finally, to wrap up the round,
Titans.
Dogs fans.
Oh, I forgot about
fucking wake up.
Why are they still giving up?
Literally the most bipolar fan base I've ever seen.
We're good.
Fuck, we're 20-point favourites, but we might take them lightly, bro. I'm not feeling confident. Knowing that 2 weeks from now, you're going to be like, we're going to go and beat Melbourne.
That's 10-point underdog.
10? You wait till fucking everyone sees what's going to happen to Brisbane on Thursday, then we'll see. It might be 20. It might be another 20-point line in a dog.
You know what? They actually could release that. My dad was like, is there any finals that are locked in? I'm like, Melbourne Dogs, no matter what. And I was thinking, why haven't they released it? Because they're thinking. They're like, all right, if Melbourne win by 200, we're going to put it 20 and a half. Fuck it.
I'm scared for Dogs when they go to Melbourne, bro. Fuck me.
God, they can't score.
Apparently, you guys are going to win your own premiership next week beating Sharks. But
who cares?
Sorreldo, again, somebody email him. The cunt needs to wake up. Appreciate the love and support, guys. Give us a like and some comments in the comment section down below. We'd love to speak to you. As always, Waz fans, sorry, there's always next year. Maybe you can make top 4. Raiders fans, what a season. Souths fans, something cooking in round 27. God, we hope so. And Roosters fans, did you hear that? No one can need to ask. They just scored again. Peace out, guys. Peace.